Hi, this is TJ Bellotti. Thanks for stopping back. I'm going to follow up on my last video. In the last video, I talked about Jack, and how I would instruct him to start his new landscape business. Well, all we really talked about is how he got his first client or two in fall doing yard cleanups. Now, let's say he did 3 or 4 or 5 different clients in the fall. Now, he'd do each yard probably twice. I don't know. I've never had a landscape company, but I have cleaned up my own yard, and typically in the fall it takes at least 2 times to clean it up completely. So, after he does this work in the fall, I would tell Jack, do not spend a single penny that you earn. Keep it in your pocket. Now, he's probably going to have $500, $600, $700 in his pocket, and it's going to be real tempting to go out to the bar at night with his buddies and buy everybody a drink and talk about his new business. It would be much smarter for Jack if he left the money in his pocket and stayed at home. Save that money. Now, what's he going to do once fall gets into full swing? Now, obviously, I'm talking about a part of the country that has 4 seasons. Now, if he is in South Carolina, that might be a little bit different because they probably don't have snow like we do here in Pennsylvania. But we're going to stick with me on the story about where I am and all that other stuff. So, after the yard cleanups, I would tell him, of that money that you've made, that $500, $600, $700, get a snow shovel and go on Craigslist and look for a cheap, not cheap as in cheaply made, but a inexpensive snowblower. Maybe a couple $100. Go back to those same clients that he did the yard cleanups for and say, hey, snow's in the forecast for 2 weeks from now. Would you like me to come by whenever it snows, shovel your sidewalk, shovel your driveway so that you guys don't have to? Now, the reason why I pointed out he would say to the client so that you guys don't have to is this. Our clients don't pay us for our time. We all make the mistake of thinking I have to set my price according to my time. The client is paying us for their time. We are actually selling time to our clients. We're not selling a service. Jack's not selling a clean yard and a clean driveway and next summer a mowed lawn. What he's selling is time. That client now has the time that they would have had to set aside for the yard cleanup, for the driveway shoveling, for the lawn mowing. They would have had to set that time on their own aside and do those tasks. So what we want to do whenever we sell this service is say, hey, look, this is what I'm going to be doing all winter. I'm not cutting any grass because there's no grass growing. How would you like me to save you time by shoveling your driveway and your sidewalks whenever it snows? Now, we'll get into pricing at some time in the future. All I want to talk about is establishing a system of finding clients and then developing the client. So, through the winter, Jack services these same clients with the snow shovel and the snowblower for the driveway and the sidewalks. What I want him to start thinking about next is, in the spring, you're going to come full force with lawn care. So set aside every penny you make shoveling snow from driveways and sidewalks. Once March starts to roll around and the snow starts to go away, start watching Craigslist now for a quality lawnmower. I don't mean an expensive lawnmower. I don't mean top-of-the-line lawnmower. I mean buy a good lawnmower at a great price off of Craigslist. Do the same thing for a weed whacker and a leaf blower. Go back to those same exact clients that you've been servicing for a couple months now, yard cleanups and snow removal, and say, hey, next month I'm putting my schedule together for lawn care. I'll be cutting grass and cutting weeds. Would you be interested in me doing the work for you? You are starting to develop a base of clients that you're going to be able to go back to every year and offer more and more services. You're going to be able to establish yourself as the most professional person in that industry in your area. And that is what we want to start to establish. I'm the person to come to for these services. Again, I know I'm just talking about lawn care right now. I'm going to expand this at some point. But I wanted you to get a visual on how we go from, I would like to build into this business, how do I start today? So stop back. We'll talk more about some other industries, and we'll talk more about developing in this first year. Talk to you soon.